Thank you, Joe. Yeah, some updates on the rankings. We'll get to a little bit later on, but Jeff Thomas here in about 5 minutes going to announce his commitment, a guy who had a terrific Under Armour All-America game with a couple of touchdowns in that game, setting some game records. How would you characterize his recruitment before that game and afterwards?
A very interesting recruitment for Jeff Thomas. You know, there were some academic concerns that he had to get, hurdles that he had to get over, and that really slowed down his recruitment during his junior season. His senior season, he's really come on academically, and then he turns up and ends up MVP in the Under Armour All-America game, and his recruitment really took off later than most guys. Miami didn't get involved with Jeffrey Thomas until December. Then, after Willie Taggart's hired at Oregon, Oregon tries to make a run, LSU tries to make a run, Illinois has fought hard to keep him at home. It's been trending to Miami, but those academic concerns his junior year did hurt his recruitment.
Okay, again, the number 8 wide receiver in the ESPN 300, a guy who made a huge jump in the ESPN 300 in our rankings after a great Under Armour All-America game. The announcement from Jeff Thomas, top 10 wideout, coming straight ahead. Next.
Let's talk about our man out of East St. Louis, and that is Jeff Thomas. There's the list, Lugs.
Yeah, Louisville, boy, did he kind of fit what Bobby Petrino would like to have offensively. We saw what Amon Richards accomplished as a true freshman for Miami a year ago. Oregon, the ultimate spread team, but not anymore under Willie Taggart and Illinois. So let's see what he ends up doing.
He is the number 8 wide receiver in the country. Got a lot of wiggle to him when you watch those highlights there. So let's head to East St. Louis High School. Good morning, Jeff. How you feeling? Jeff, how are you? I don't know that Jeff can hear us, so hopefully we can just have our man cue us, and Jeff can go ahead there and make his decision. Jeff, please take it.
Yeah. I need a mic. Huh? Don't I need a mic?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Right there.
Our very own Mr. Jeff Thomas.
First off, first off, I just want to say football has taken me places. I told you they can't hear me. I would. First off, I would just like to say, football has taken me places I never thought it'd take me in life, and I'm grateful that the Lord has blessed me with this opportunity. Not to mention all the great people I've met and the relationships I built will surely last a lifetime. I'd like to say thank you to my coaches, my teammates, my family, my school, my community, my teachers, and last but not least, East St. Louis. I can't describe how much joy I have been from where I'm from. It made me the man I am today. I've learned valuable lessons and life more from my city, but I've also witnessed my city trap great people and hinder them from reaching their full potential. Some might say it's a blessing and a curse from being where I'm from, but I know it has stripped me for God's plan. With that being said, I would like to announce that I will be attending the University of Miami.
Jeff, congratulations on being a Cane.
Thank you.
How do you see yourself fitting in with Mark Richt and the Canes?
Fitting in with them, I mean, it's a good experience because, like, they show great love, and, like, they told me, like, what I'm going to be doing, like, once I get there. So, I mean, it's going to be a blessing when I get there.
You had one of the most diverse lists of potential schools of those that we have seen today. So of all the mailings, of all the official visits, of all the recruitment stunts, Was there any one thing that got your attention more than others?
Probably Miami, because like the love is just ridiculous, and then I couldn't take back like the time I was there with the guys, and like they showed plenty of love.
You mentioned reaching full potential in your announcement. Where do you see yourself 4 years from now? What will we be saying about Jeff Thomas?
That's a hard question, but I mean, y'all just gonna be like, I don't know. I have no idea. Only time will tell.
Well, we wish you the best, Jeff.
Thank you.
So the number 8 wide receiver in the country from East St. Louis, Illinois. He was worried about making sure he had the microphone so that the crowd there in the gym could hear. We could hear him on national TV just fine. And we heard him say he is headed off to Miami. Now, this is a young man who, in your game, the Under Armour game, he was one of the team MVPs.
Yeah, he had a terrific week, a terrific performance. This is also a young man, though, that almost blew all of that with his own head coach at his high school. Wasn't going to class, wasn't doing the things you needed to do, was removed from the football team. We subsequently removed him from the Under Armour roster. Light went on. He got back on track, and it's paid off for him. So I think he's got some things to be grateful for. Now he needs to move on to the next level and continue to develop. Certainly going to an offensive system that is wide receiver friendly. They have a need at the position, losing Stacy Coley, losing tight ends on the inside, so they need more weapons, more speed. And if anything, people know Miami is going to have team speed at the skill spots.
You know what's interesting to me is he didn't come across as a young man that is going there feeling like he is saving the University of Miami. And a lot of times we listen to these guys commit and they act like they're doing the school a favor by coming. And Joe, you asked him, you know, where does he see himself? And he's like, look, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to work hard. I like his approach to when he gets to Miami, he's going to blend in and try to help this team win.
Football has certainly helped his focus on academics and allowed him to pursue this opportunity in college.
So that's the 5th top 100 commit for Miami in this 2017 class. That is the most they've had since 2013. And Jeff Thomas is the highest rated wide receiver they've had since Stacy Coley. That was back in 2013. We always think of Miami as just keep the guys at home here, but obviously nationally starting to make more and more of an impact, sort of the way things were down there. He comes by way of East St. Louis, Illinois.
Yeah, all right, let's go to Miami. We'll talk Miami and Notre Dame. I think there was a 30 for 30 that was about those two programs this year.
Now there's another one.
Let's go to Miami here. Top 15 program here, 10 ESPN 300 commits. Where are they trending here today?
You know, Miami, Mark Richt's first class, they're closing really well. They've had a really good week. Kyleon Herbert committed, ESPN 300 offensive tackle late last week to get the ball rolling. The last 24 hours have been terrific for the Hurricanes. Javonte Dean, ESPN JC 50 corner, former Alabama commitment. He committed to Miami Tuesday night. Then today, wide receiver, huge position of need for the Hurricanes, getting Jeff Thomas and most recently 4-star speedster Mike Harley out of St. Thomas Aquinas. Miami has addressed needs at wide receiver, on the offensive line in this class, and possibly at quarterback with N'Kosi Perry, who's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, and I know top 10 athlete C.J. Henderson on their board. You thought they might get him. Where's he leaning today?
That one's changed a little bit. It looked like Miami late in the week and early this week. Right now, that one's trending to the Florida Gators. There was even some Alabama talk, but I think right now it's Florida over Miami.
Yeah. Tom will allow you to speak now. Notre Dame, Florida. I mean, well, we'll talk more about Florida coming up in a little bit later on, but that's remarkable that we were told that he was going to pull out. Florida was pulling out of that discussion, but there they are. There they are. This is a very fluid show here on National Signing Day. Let's stick in the Sunshine State and talk some Miami Hurricanes football. Again, you see who they have coming back and, of course, who they have departing. And Brad Kaya, of course, the most notable name there, the quarterback for the Hurricanes. And let's welcome in the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes, Mark Richt. And Mark, what kind of impact do you see from this year's recruiting class?
Well, it's going to be huge. I mean, we're still at a position in our program where we're selling that freshmen can come in and not only play but start. I mean, it happened a year ago, and we're still not at the point where we have so much depth that we can just stack them up and have them, wait a year or two. I mean, these kids know that they're going to come in and make an impact for this program. And, a lot of it has to do with just what kind of condition they come in and how serious and mature they are about, being a great player.
And last year you had Michael Pinckney, Zach McLeod, guys who came in right away and played immediate dividends. Looking at some of these recruits here on our graphics. Last year at this time, Mark, you barely had enough time to refamiliarize yourself with your surroundings there at your alma mater, let alone try to forge relationships with kids in a short amount of time. How different was it this time, having a full year to evaluate and get to know your class?
Well, it was a lot better than a year ago, but I will say the staff prior to us coming in did a super job of evaluating a lot of kids. A lot of guys that were already committed to Miami stuck to their commitment, and we agreed that, they were the right kind of kids and the right kind of players, so I give credit to them. But, people talk about the recruiting cycle being a year long, but guess what? It's about 4 years long. I mean, the recruiting cycle starts in the 8th grade, the 9th grade, the 10th grade, the 11th grade. So we're still forging those relationships with young kids that I think will come to fruition, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road.
You're a quarterback guy. You lose Brad Kai is heading off to the NFL, and you have N'Kosi Perry there, the dual-threat quarterback, top 3 at his position. What does the quarterback situation look like in the spring heading into the fall? How's Perry figure into that?
Well, it's wide open. We've got 4 on scholarship. With the addition of Cade Weldon, we have 5 on scholarship that are all going to get reps, and they're going to battle. And then when N'Kosi comes in, he'll throw his hat in the ring too. So, to me, there's not one guy on our campus that has anything locked down. And it's a matter of, who shows me and the rest of the staff that they can handle the responsibility of this job.
Mark Richt, if they can close even more strongly, looking for their 3rd top 10 class in the last 6 years. Mark, congratulations on the class. Thanks for spending some time with us.
I appreciate being on the air.